Lone Wolf AudioWorks presents Personal Memoirs, an original World War I audio drama. Written, produced and directed by James Leeper.
In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. Martin Luther King Jr., 1929 to 1968. France, the Allied frontline trenches. Date November 8th, 1917.
It is about 30 minutes past the hour of midnight as I write in this journal. It is bitter cold and wet here in the trenches. Once it was a beautiful landscape, now destroyed by the destructive creations of man. I can feel the cold air seeping through my thick trench coat. There is no clothing on this earth which would keep me warm on this bitter night, or any other night for the past 3 years of this war. I feel death's cold hand always nearby, my constant companion here in this place. I am physically and mentally exhausted, but I cannot resign myself to sleep nor rest. Even if I decide to, I will have to wait painfully until morning, where I may only get a couple of hours of precious sleep at the most. Then I will be brought back into this harsh reality, whether it be the sound of explosions, gunfire, or the cries of agony and pain from a fallen soldier. Even the local rodent rat population tarry here with us, within the deep confines of the damp dirt and mud. Oh, how I long to feel the warmth and safety of my own home, not fearing the sound of artillery shelling, the explosions that create destruction, chaos and death, sounds that can deafen your ears, dangerous poisonous gases that fill your lungs, choking the life out of you, bayonets that pierce the flesh, entering into the very soul of a human being, or even the death of a bullet. How I yearn not to fear anymore. How I dread being in this God-forsaken place. It's hell here. How can God dwell in such a place? How has man fallen to this such state? Oh, how I pray that one day this war will all be over. I have lost good friends here in the past few days. Corporal Daniel Miller, Sargent John Porter, and Ben Tanner. All good, brave men. With these men I could talk and share my feelings. In this dark place they were a comfort to me. They were my friends. Now, they're gone. They are no more. When I looked into their eyes, I could see that their light has gone out. Just an empty shell. No life. The soul gone. Daniel was killed by artillery bombardment. The others were killed by an unexpected German raid in the middle of the night.
Oh, cold night tonight.
Oh, yeah, it's dark. I can barely see in front of me.
I barely feel my fingers.
Oh, yeah.
Corporal Miller, Private Tanner.
Sarge?
Have you heard anything from Fritz of late?
No, it's been a quiet night so far,
quiet,
Sarge.
nothing.
Cold though. You got any of those cigarettes? Could do with some warming up.
You mean you smoked your own rations already, boys?
Sorry, Sarge.
It's been a long night.
God, I don't know. All right, seems the chill's setting.
Oh, thanks, Sarge.
Thanks.
One each. That's as much as I'm getting stretched to.
Do you want a light?
Yeah, you keep your heads down, lads. You don't want a Jerry Sniper picking you off. Just gives you a little ciggy. There you go. Here, give us a light.
There you go.
Oh, that's better.
Do with that. Yeah.
Good. There you go.
Do you hear that?
What?
Bombardment! Get down, lads! Say, come on! Bombardment! Bang! Germans in the trenches! Quick, Spanish lads! Have at 'em! Come on! I got one!
Now I fear that I must walk and stand alone in this dark, foreboding place. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me.
I contemplate sometimes how friends and family back home would react if I told them of my experiences here in the battlefield, here in the trenches. Would they believe the words I would say if I told them? Hence why I write in this journal every day, every night that I survive this great war, even though we're commanded not to, that perhaps one day people might believe what happened here. Dear God, I pray every night to Him that they will never feel or experience as I or any soldier have. It is torment being here. The pain, suffering, loss, the bitter cold, the constant hunger and thirst, the lack of rest and sleep, the fear that the next breath could be your last. We were told that we were fighting for king and country, for the great British Empire, to fight proudly for the crown and the glory of the king. Are we not fighting for more than just royalty and empire? Surely we're fighting for freedom's sake of this world, fighting for family and friends. It looks like it's going to be another cold and wet night. Great. Will this war ever end? I hope so. I believe it's so. War cannot last forever, right? I think that's enough for one night. I pray that nothing will happen tonight. I continually wake up to the sounds of artillery shelling and the nearby explosions. I can hear the painful screams of soldiers either trying to avoid the explosions or being pounded by them. It's not long until the explosions stop. I could hear commotion further down the trench, not to mention the screams of an injured soldier. It was not long before he was put out of his misery. It goes deathly silent. I wonder who it was this time. Get out of here. Go on. Rats. An officer approaches further up in the trenches. He was handing out envelopes to other soldiers. He makes eye contact with me and approaches me with an envelope in hand. I stand to attention as he reaches me. "Thank you, sir." I open the letter. It's from my fiancée. I could smell the hint of her perfume on the paper. It was the very same she wore when we first met. I could smell her lovely fragrance. She would spray it on each letter she sent to me. Each letter wrote was a comfort to my soul. "My dear beloved Martin, I hope and pray to God that this letter finds you well.
I hope my words fill your heart with delight and joy. I miss you greatly, and I worry for you. As I write, I feel your presence so near. To think that your hands will hold this paper. Please stay strong, my dearest Martin. I love you with all the depth of my heart. Time goes by so slowly since you last held me. Please stay safe. Remember that I love you, my darling. You must come back to me, with my awaiting heart, with all my love.
Annie King."
Friday, 9th of November, 1917. It's quiet tonight. No explosions, gunfire, no screams. Just the cold whistling wind and the weary coughs coming from other soldiers. I found out who was screaming earlier today. It was Corporal Carl Duncan. Some of the soldiers say he was from Birmingham. There's nothing the medic could do for him. And Captain Millard just took his revolver and decided to put him out of his misery. I just pray that if and when my time comes, that it will be quick. I must confess, being away from home, you learn a lot of things in war. That humanity's compassion, mercy and pity are far gone. I remember not so long ago, Captain Millard killed one of our own soldiers. What was his name? Private Robert Roy. That's it. He deserted his post and ran into no man's land. How he wasn't killed by enemy gunfire or stepping onto a landmine was a miracle itself. Perhaps it would have been better that he was killed by the enemy. 2 soldiers ran after him. They managed to capture him and bring him back. They just chucked him down into the wet trenches. They both held him before the captain. I will never forget the look in his eyes. His eyes were begging for mercy as the captain aimed his revolver at his head and just pulled the trigger. Just like that. No remorse. Deserters were always shot. If you were lucky, you were just severely punished, but he wasn't. Christ, he was just scared. He was just a boy. No boy should even be here. I talked to him a few times. He secretly told me that he was 14. He lied about his age when he enlisted. Another casualty of war. Another soul lost.
Take cover!
The trench now filled with both British and German soldiers, fighting each other, killing each other. I reach for my rifle, slowly getting up onto my feet. I aim my rifle and I fire into the crowd. My rifle jams. With panic, I try to unjam it. However, by that time, a German soldier reaches me with both anger and fear in his face. Charging forward with his rifle in hand, I notice the bayonet at the end of the rifle. I desperately dodge his charge. In retaliation, I try to hit him with the butt of my rifle, but I miss. He then knocks the rifle out of my hands, shoves me to the floor. He then knocks the rifle out of my hands, shoves me to the floor. I try to get up, but it was too late. His bayonet pierces me deeply, hard into my chest. I lay there in the dirt, struggling to breathe. My life's essence drained slowly away. I watch my executioner, as if in slow motion, moving to the next of us. The light begins to fade, and the sounds start to go quiet. I feel the cold wind on my face. I take a deep breath. My last. My eyes close, surrendering. I let death take me. Now it's over. Peace finally comes to my soul at last. Yesterday, I visited the battlefield of last year. The place scarcely recognizable. Instead of a wilderness of ground torn up by shell, the ground was a garden of wild flowers and tall grasses. Most remarkable of all was the appearance of many thousands of white butterflies which fluttered around. It was as if the souls of the dead soldiers had come to haunt the spot where so many fell. It was eerie to see them. And the silence. It was so still that I could almost hear the beat of the butterfly's wings. Unnamed British officer, 1919.